Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from Townhall.com dated on Halloween, October 31st. It says, Bombshell report bursts Biden-Harris claims that it's the most ethical, transparent administration. And I mean, that headline, it just screams like, well, we knew this already, that it was not. So let's go ahead and get into see what this report says here. It says, a new report from the Public Trust is pouring cold water on the Biden-Harris administration's claims that it is the most ethical and transparent administration in U.S. history, calling it blatantly false. And again, it's kind of like a duh, we knew that. Certainly not transparent and definitely not ethical, but it says the 26-page report knocked down former White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki's comments in which she said the Biden-Harris administration succeeded at, quote, bringing transparency and truth back to government, end quote, which is laughable on itself. It says alleges that President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris have violated ethical standards and failed to live up to promises that it would be a scandal-free administration, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Psaki is also being investigated over, quote, apparent conflict of interest while looking to leave federal service for a high-salary television job, end quote. Yeah, that's when she already had like a gig at MSNBC lined up while she was still the press secretary. Yeah, so that's what that's about. So the report blames Biden and Harris and states that the White House, the Department of Health and Human Services, the Department of the Interior, the Department of Energy, the Department of Commerce, and the State Department have also committed such violations. It also alleges that the Department of the Interior, or DOI, has a record of cutting ethical corners in favor of special interest policies. And hopefully by the time this video goes up, or I should say hopefully Trump will be the next president by the time this video goes up, because it probably won't be up before the election is done. And maybe we can start getting rid of some of these useless departments. So this comes after the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability Chairman James Comer, Republican of Kentucky, released a report on Thursday finding the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC Chair Lina Khan, has betrayed the Commission's independent mission by abusing her authority, trampling on the due process rights of regulated parties, upending the rule of law, and violating ethics standards to advance the Biden-Harris administration's agenda. And I remember when this woman was up for, like, when she was nominated, because I think this job, she had to go through, like, the Senate confirmation process, and people, like, on all sides were like, this woman is not someone that should be in charge of this. Like, people were warned, and they still went ahead with it anyway. So, if she's the one I'm remembering correctly. But anyway, let's keep going. It says, Comer released a statement following the report's release, and he says here, rather than fulfill her obligation to ensure the FTC adheres to its independent role, our investigation reveals that Chair Lina Khan abused her power and bent the knee to the Biden-Harris White House. During her tenure, Chair Khan abandoned agency norms, disregarded ethical standards, subverted due process rights by colluding with foreign regulatory regimes, and willingly became a political tool for the Biden-Harris administration to carry out its ideological goals. It's now clear that Chair Khan will stop at nothing to accomplish the radical left's desired ends. If this conduct is allowed to continue, it will further undermine Americans' confidence in the FTC's role in protecting American consumers and the U.S. marketplace. Chair Khan's term expired last month, and she should not be permitted to continue leading an independent agency. Yeah, if she's still in charge there, because if it expired, I mean, yeah, she shouldn't be anywhere near that, and hopefully they can get rid of her. And hopefully by the time you hear this, we won't have to worry about having to get rid of her, because Trump will do it. Hopefully that's the case. We'll see. Meanwhile, the Public Trust report found that the White House lawyers acted as Biden's personal attorney amid the controversy that followed the investigation into his mishandling of classified documents. Additionally, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre and White House Deputy Press Secretary Andrew Bates potentially violated the Hatch Act. And I think I should say her, KJP, has violated the Hatch Act already. Not in this thing necessarily, but before. It says ethics issues in the Biden-Harris administration didn't end with Hunter Biden and the president's family, Director of Protect the Public Trust Michael Chamberlain told Fox News Digital. So despite their claims to be the most ethical in history, we've documented possible ethics violations in most of the cabinet-level agencies, including confirmed Hatch Act violations, conflicts of interest, and all the hazards that have come with having a revolving door between official D.C. and well-connected activist groups. Ms. Chamberlain warned Americans to be careful believing future claims from the Biden-Harris administration and the left-wing media that paint them as a scandal-free administration. Kind of like what they've done with Obama's. And you can just go look at Obama and everybody's like, oh yeah, there was no scandals that happened. And it was like, I think Ben Shapiro said there were at least 11 scandals during his administration, including like Fast and the Furious and stuff like that. So they're going to do the same thing with the Biden administration and say it was scandal-free when it's like, guys, we can see what's right in front of our face. Like, Anyway, so what do you think about this? Do you think it's interesting? And I like Kamala's face here, looking at Joe like, oh boy, and he deserves that look. But what do you think about this? Do you believe that the Biden-Harris administration is the most ethical, or are you not surprised that a report like this came out and essentially shot that down? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye.